Hey people, Captain's Log, August 30th, 2020, Sunday morning. I usually turn the news on Sunday morning to see what they're feeding the people, but I had to turn it off today. God, people are stupid. About 2,000 years ago, people were anywhere between 10 and 100 times smarter than people today. And but not all of them knew to find the codes. And so what you're looking at here, you can see the serpent in a garden, and the serpent had legs until he was cursed to crawl on his belly. So this is the serpent. This is old Jack Lovelight. And you can see the apple tree and Adam beating the dragon. But the code here is in the tail. This means oath. It means he got a knot in his tail. You took the oath to not tell. So the majority of your Bible was written by sailors. They were the smartest, and it's split up, between the captain's log and the deck log. The bosun's log. And so this is the word that became our 10 Commandments, the Decalogue. But it's pertain, P-R-O-T-H-N, pertains to us, the Decalogues. So a Decalogue, was the language of the bosun, of the decalogue. And this kept up with what was on the boat, and it was written in logos from every port had logos for their product, had its own logo to tell you what it was and where it was from. One logo would tell you that's a drum full of Colombian coffee. It'll tell you where, and all you had to do is put one logo and a number beside it, and it would tell you I got 12 kegs of Colombian coffee. So the captain was real slick, and the captain's log, it could be written in a number of ancient scripts. These aren't languages. This is just the way you shape your letter, but it's still a E in every script. It's still a D in every script. And so when you see this lettering style, it doesn't mean that this is written in Hebrew. It means it's written in this Paleo script. And the Hebrew is a writing style, and that's an alchemical, the brew. It's their writing style where they hide their secrets. But it's still not the language. And the language was ancient English. And the same we use our script today. We can write words in many languages and still use our Latin script. People, if you're American, you think it's an American letter, but it's actually a Latin script, and you can write many different languages with it. So the captain was really slick, and he could start a line with one word, and it had more meaning. And if he said adios, it means he just left a port where they speak Spanish. Adieu, he just left Germany. Bon voyage, good voyage to you. Au revoir, he just left France. And so with one word can give much meaning, like a photo. So I'm going to touch on this just for a minute before I get to something real good here. But this Decalogue, that's the word that King James interpreted as the 10 Commandments. And so if you look opposite here in Deuteronomy 10 and 4, the word for the 10 Commandments is EDBRIS, or EDV. So this is a real tongue twister. I had to find it in a certain place before I figured out exactly what it meant. But this word comes up like this 133 times, 1,400 total, with similar spellings. But only, I think, maybe 3 times they'll say it means commandments. But it's usually just things these things, these events, questions, words, and so that's from the DBR. The DVR, they say that means words most of the time. Causes disputes with you concerning all these words. Oh, King James, he's got a hell of imagination there. And you see here, it only comes up in Exodus, in the Ten Commandments is the only time they say it means commandments. And then again in Deuteronomy, they'll say it means commandments. But the rest of the time, it just means these things. Here it is in Deuteronomy, again, 4, the Ten Commandments. But if you find this word over here, you know, these are all words in the same, they give them the same number. Word number 1697 is what this is. And if you find the ones spelled with a W, a vowel first, it'll give you a easier reading here. And you'll often find this comes before the word Lord, and they'll say it means words, or and the Lord said. But read this U as a W, and this B is a V. It doesn't have the dot in the middle of it, so that means it's read as a V. And so it's whatever is. The final M reads as a S. Whatever is. And so think of it as an old country girl and living out on the farm, and she ain't seen a man that's not her father or brother in 8 years, you know, and she meets a man and she says, you just do whatever. Whatever is what that word is. With deveries, whatever it is. And so if it doesn't come with that vav in the front, it's a real tongue twister. But what this says is vav yod, to make, the connected work, and then K, T, cut, and then B or V is in. It could be read as a B or a V, but it means in, the house, in. So to make, cut in, and he wrote, you know, he was cutting in the stone. To make, cut in, O-L, all, and then this reads backwards and forwards, T-H-L-E-L-H-T, and this is what's going on right now. To make, cut in, all, tell, elite, to tell the elite, to come, K-M, to come, cut in, and then the ration, and so to make, cut in all, to tell the elite to come cut in the rations. And that's what's going on right now. They putting out secret signs to tell the elite that comes a cut in the ration. We're fixing to have a cut in the rations. To assert, A-S-E-R-E-T, O-S-R-T, to assert, as in like a certain. To assert is more of the meaning of command. His words assert, they command. It varies, V-R-Y-S. To assert, it varies. And that's why most of the time it means things, because it's just things. It's to the asserted varies. And then the raised dibber. And see, this is that same category of word, the DBR. It just has the dot in here, so you know it's read with a B. The same thing, DBR, but here missing the dot is read as a V. And so the dibber is to plant. A dibber is a little tool used for planting. To raise dibber, U, and then reads backwards. It starts with an A. And so this is MK, to make, I-L-A, to make ill. Ill is a dirty word. That's why this is read backwards. And ill means to lie. And that's your ancient word for lie. Was they would read it the other way, unknowing, and they would read it Allah, Ali, a lie. That's where your word a lie come from. But it actually is supposed to be read to make ill. To raise the dibber, you make ill. To plant the lie. And then ber, in ear. To plant the lie in ear, from to give. Has, H-A-S. Has, hash. Hash by use the fell. And then to make tens. There's where your word 10 commandments come from. There's your tens right there. To make tens. To make tents. You. Y-E-W-E. You lie. Ill. You lie. And so the people who to cut of, all tell it elite. To come cut in the ration to asserted degrees. To asserted varies. Degrees, different degrees. To the asserted varies. To raise dibber, you make ill. To raise the dibber, the planner, you make ill. You make lie. In ear, from to give. Has by use, two uses. By use, two uses. The fell. How tends, Y, W-I, to make, and it means Y. It was an ancient English word that meant who or how. It can be read how tends you lie. So this is where I was reading that had me look into that. It was Nehemiah 13. It's called the separation of intermixed people, and it's going to be controversial, so I'm going to get into it some here, and I'm going to put some of this in part 2 because they might take it down. I don't want to lose all this work, but they give several different words here for the meaning of commandments. And you can see the first one here is entoiling, E-N-T-O-L-H-N, entoiling, working. You're working your ass off, entoiling. And then just below this again, they give this other word for commandments, and this is strategies. To his strategies, S-T-R-A-T-H-G-O-I-S. To his strategies are also commandments. To the 10 strategies. And so in the Hebrew, this is broke up with 3 different titles. The foreigners excluded. And then down at 4 is the temple cleansed. And then you see another word for command here is the whammer. And a whammer is a cry. You big whammer baby. You a big cry baby. And then the tithes restored here at 10. And so this is what I'm wanting to read into, and I'm have to explain some words. You can see here this Levite says Elvis, E-L-V-I-S, Elvis and the Singers. And so let me cut this off here, and I'm gonna get a part 2 up real quick, and I'm gonna come straight over here and give a reading on this that you're going to be able to read real easy. And we're going to get a better idea of what this word, the Singers, means, and all these words. And we're going to see that we're going to learn how to nig the jinn. And this is the jinn nigger. And this is a jinn, and he is nigging the jinn. The cycle of the foot, N-G, to cycle the foot. He's the one, the engine, making the work. Alright, I'm going to cut this off here, and I'll get this part 2 up real soon. Working on it now. Good day.